It's been probably a couple weeks now since your dear friend Barret Robbins passed away. Uh, I know we recorded a session. It was the day before he passed, and you had a message for him, very, very loud and clear. You've been trying to get in touch with him more and more and more since that first time you met with him. What has happened since his passing?
Well, nothing, man. We don't know where Barrett's at. I got teammates that play with him that has been reaching out to me, trying to find out, where his body is at. I got a couple of guys that owns funeral homes, and the thing with that is, if he had died in a hospital, it would be really easy to find out where he's at or a facility somewhere. But some say he died in a hotel, some say he died somewhere else, and it's just, we looking for him, man. And it just, for my brother to go out like that, bro, it's just he's better than that, man. He's better than that,
Yeah,
and we should be celebrating his life. I know, the Super Bowl, debacle and all that shit, but he's not defined by that, man. He's
yeah,
somebody's son. He's somebody's friend, and he had two beautiful kids, and I wish that we can find out where he's at and celebrate his life, man, because he was a good dude, man. He was my brother, and
yeah,
Tony, he should be on this show with us right
yeah,
now, and the things that we had to game plan for him to reintroduce himself, and he was like, man, I'm not ready. I don't think they're gonna accept me because of all the stuff that happened, and with the thing that happened in Miami with the cops and things. So we was just trying to gonna start working out and
yeah,
try to get him back together, man. Like I said on the first show, he was lonely, and the first thing he said to me, Tony, when I first got back to him, back hooked up with him, man, he said, man, I have nobody. I don't have anybody. I said, bro, you got me and I got you,
wow,
man. It was just, I feel like I failed him. I feel like, I didn't save his life. And, I'm just, I'm devastated, man. I really am. All I do is think about him every day and think about what if.
Well, you were I guess, one of the only ones towards the end of his life that showed him any kind of love. And I know to you it feels like a failure,
Yeah.
because he's not with us right now. But he was searching for that. The odds of him coming to the same town that you're in,
Yeah. That
and
was,
you going over there and going to his house and seeing him. I know he didn't look like the old Barrett, but he said, "Man, I didn't have nobody, and you were there for him."
yeah.
And that's huge. That's huge for him. And I think we need a lot more people like you doing that for people in their lives. That, I mean, if you know somebody who's struggling, man, they're just looking for somebody, man. And I think you were that guy for him. And unfortunately, he passed. But
I'm gonna say this, man.
it's sad.
I'm gonna say this, bro. And it's to all my NFL teammates and guys that play in the National Football League, man. There's a lot of guys that's struggling like that, bro. Call your folks, man. Reach out to your people, man. We all go through shit, and we all on a daily basis because we played a violent sport, but we still a fraternity, man. Reach out to your people, find out what's going on. There's a couple of guys that I reach and find out how they doing, and they call and ask how I'm doing, and the NFL is a big fraternity, man. And when you see somebody
Yeah.
struggling like that, where I'm from, you go and try to help them out and try to fix them and I just was a little too late with B Rob, man. But let this be a learning lesson. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss him, man. And then that big old smile. He was just a big old teddy bear. Yes, yeah, he had demons. Yeah, he did. I think about all the good times that we had from playing golf. They got this. We used to play this game called Boo Ray. That's very, very treacherous. And all the guys that we used to play on the plane, going to away games and different things like that, man. The pot would get up to $15,000, $16,000, and it's called Boo Ray. So we had the IOUs. You get paid on Tuesday, and if you got your head caved in on the way back, man, it was like have my money on Tuesday. So them the things that I'm gonna remember about him, and playing Madden and talking shit and drinking wine with him and his mother and playing golf with him, man, and just think about the good times and not what he looked like at the end of his
Right.
life.
The 4 years you did play with him with the Raiders, what was he like on and off the field?
A monster, man. He was a badass, man. With a he was very, very smart. He knew X's and O's. He had a swagger about him. B Rob had a finesse game. I'm talking about with his mouth. If you listen to him talk, you think you was talking to a brother. And I
Wow.
used to have this little inside running joke, and only cool white boys could get away with this. I say, B, what was you good at? Blocking Negroes, and we just bust out laughing, man. And just that was between me and him, and I'm gonna miss him, man. And you know, he's
Yeah.
when I first got back with him, you know, he was pretty close to my brother Daryl and my pops, and that's how, you know, when I lost my father, that's you know, he was reaching out, and I was, you know, reaching out and looking for him, and we just got hooked up for that split second, man, and was trying to change the way his life was, and you know, I know he's looking down at heaven. He don't have to hurt no more, and you know, one day I'll see him again.
Amen, brother. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. I don't know where he is now or what's happened, but that's got to get resolved because he deserves better right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, and it just you know, I'm thinking about, you know, my brother and my father. That last image of, you know, my father and my dad, man. You know, at the end when they start closing that casket, bro. You know, I always stand up and I look and you know, I won't get that I won't get that chance to do that with him, bro. Because you know,
Yeah.
when they closing that casket, dog, and I'm sitting there looking how dark it gets in there, and you know, when they close that, that's it, bro. That's the end of it. And
That's it.
he was better than that, man. It's, you know, it's your birthday, and then it's that dash, and then it's at the end of your life, and everything that counts in that dash, bro. So he you know, he shouldn't have went out like that, man. And there was a guy, a Hall of Famer named Mike Webster, played for Pittsburgh Steelers, man. You know, I saw that story. You know, he's living in his car, and you know, his teeth was breaking off, and you know, he take crazy glue and trying to, you know, put his teeth back in, and you know, NFL players shouldn't go out like that, man. And so that's what I was trying to stop from that type of stuff with my brother, man. But I'm gonna miss him, and you know,
Yeah.
I won't talk about this no more. You know, every time we do a show, man, that's gonna be, you know, he should be right here doing this show with us.